Hello, my loves. This is your August soul message. It's going to be a big one, so let's just take a deep breath because it's going to take a minute to get through all of this. First of all, I'm actually going to take a deep breath. Woo! It is heavy, heavy, heavy solar plexus territory that we're in right now. So, where am I going to begin? The title is Shine Bright. And the solar plexus is the sun of the body. The moon of the body is the 8th chakra at the crown, where the calyx sits, or just some people say it's just above the head. Some people say it's right here at the calyx. So the energy moves from the root to the crown, and then it spills back to the 8th. That's where the nectar is, the moon, the feminine, and then it runs down the back of the body and runs back up again. As I have made the chakra apothecary bottles, and now I've just finished the Planetary blends, and I don't have any of them with me because all of them are in the store that I made them for. But I'll be making more of those. They're available on my website, and I'll just make as people order. So if you want to get those are there. But as I've done the chakra blends and now I've done the Planetary blends, astrology often comes into these messages, and it's coming in more and more and more into the moon ceremonies. And let me tell you, if you are a regular purveyor of these messages, if you come here for guidance every month, let me tell you that you are missing out greatly if you are not grabbing the moon ceremonies also. So those happen twice a month, full moon and new moon. They're pre-recorded audio messages, so you can listen right from your phone. I did that for ease. And they're available in my shop on my website or on Instagram, wherever you're watching this, but you can grab those. They're $20 a piece, or if you want to do subscription, that's an option on the classes and community page of my website. If you click under moon ceremonies, there is a link there to subscribe so that you'll get them automatically, and then it becomes $33. So you save $7 every month. And not only do you save, but then you just automatically get it in your email box, which makes it way easier and you don't have to think about it. So what I'm starting to notice, let me share this first and then we'll dive into the energy because it's all connected. What I'm starting to notice is the information that I get at the beginning of the month for the soul message. It's like a pinprick, like it points towards the current that's going to be happening all month. And then the moon ceremonies come in as like an activation. If you haven't come to them and you don't know what it is, I do a little bit of an energy update at the beginning, and then the rest of it is a group healing session. So if you've been interested in working with me individually, but you're like, oh, I don't really know, I'm not sure what it's going to be like, or I'm afraid, or whatever, go to those, because as my earring just pops out, go to one of those, because it's super easy for $20 to get a group healing and to get the information for that time. And there's a thread that's starting to move through. So the soul message will come in, and then we go to full moon, and there's a big wave of energy that comes in there. It's like the culmination, the height of the energy that I'm talking about for the beginning of the month. And then it moves into the new moon, and we're into a new cycle. And so it's a little bit of like a prep before we get to the next month. It's really fascinating how it's starting to unfold. And then I'm starting to get more information about the planetary stuff too. So let's just talk about some of the astrology here, and then I'll dive into the energy. So in August, the top of August, the first 2 weeks is Leo. Then we'll move into Virgo. Leo is ruled by the sun. The sun is, like I said, the solar plexus is the sun of the body. So those two, if you're working with, I forgot to bring that one also. I accidentally brought root. That's not what I meant to do. So if you have these, solar plexus and throat are the two that you're going to want to work with this month. And there's a link between the two. So Leo, sun, solar plexus, and then we'll move into Virgo, ruled by Mercury, which is the throat of the body. Mercury is about communication and languaging, right? Writing, all that kind of stuff. So those are connected. So if you have these roller balls, I am going to start bringing these in, because they're naturally just showing up anyways, and pointing you towards the ones to work with. So there's 8 of the chakras, and there are 11 planetary right now, but there's a 12th one coming that I'm in the process of making. I'll keep that a surprise. So that's the energy that we kind of have going on here. Solar plexus is about will, it's about boundaries, it's about determination, it's about sovereignty, it's about separating from you from everybody else. Who are you that is unique, separate, different than everyone else? And if you don't know that, this is the message that I got right before I sat down. This month is a little bit of like a coming out of the closet month with who you are. And that's kind of like we're in a new phase here with the sun. The sun is about who you are and who you are meant to be here. One of the confusing things about astrology is oftentimes people will say, oh, what's your sun sign? As if that's going to tell you who the person is. And that's partially true. But what I've learned is that the sun, your sun sign is actually the energy that you are here to master in this life. It's not the thing that you organically, automatically do. So anyways, that's just a little bit of an added thing I wasn't expecting to talk about. But the coming out of the closet piece, this is what I heard right before I sat down. It's a little bit of a coming out of the closet month, but you can't come out of the closet with who you are if you don't know who you are in the closet. And that's why this whole year, I'm finally starting to get the information about why this year has been so hard and so slow. And if you are an entrepreneur, for sure, I'm starting to see like different colleagues of mine show up with these themes. And I'm like, okay, great. I'm not crazy. This is what's been happening all year. You know, at the top of the year, we got this massive slowdown. Like, okay, you thought you were going on a train, you thought you were on a current, you know, last year, thinking that it's just going to continue this year. And then you get to the top of this year and it's like, wait a minute, what are we doing? And remember that 2022 is a 6 year. 6 is the hexagon. Hexagon is the wheel. It's the first time that we see a circle in sacred geometry from 1 to 6. So this year is a movement year, but man, has it felt like the train is barreling down the road and the railway, and it has had to come to a screeching halt to change directions. And I think it was during the July soul message, or maybe it was one of the moon ceremonies this last month, because they're all starting to merge for me now, that I talked about that thing, like we are in the process of lifting the train off of the old tracks and putting it on new tracks. So, you know, this year has been a little bit of like the high-speed train screeching to a halt all year. And now in August, it finally feels like we're going to start to get the data and the information to start moving it and shifting it into a new direction. But it's like Rome wasn't built in a day, you know, it takes a while. So, where did I want to go with that? There's a piece that I received yesterday. I was doing some channel writing for myself, and I heard this line that just popped out, and I was like, whoa, that is very important. And the line was, receiving takes it out of you. And I was like, wow, okay. And then I'm going to sit with that for a minute. There's a double-sided message to what they were trying to say. Receiving takes it out of you. So number one, the first side of it is receiving, especially when you're not used to it. We have been highly, highly, highly programmed to give, be on the wheel of capitalism, of the patriarchy, the whole thing, especially women. Give until you're absolutely depleted, and that's the only time when you have an excuse or a reason to slow down, which is why the body makes us sick when we are running too fast and we're not listening to what it's saying. We're not listening to the fact that it needs rest. So it will just go into illness because it's overworked, and it's saying, hey lady, you need to calm down. You need to slow down and you need rest. But here's the thing. So we're highly, highly, highly programmed to give, run the car all the way to empty before we stop to fill it up, before we rest, all of this stuff. And when we need to rest, we make excuses about it. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't do this. I would have loved to even record this message a couple days ago, but I just got back from vacation and I'm exhausted. So no, I'm not going to do that. I have to do it when it's time for me. And this is the energy. It's the solar plexus. It's we are learning that we have to be uniquely, authentically ourselves, and that is when we are in our greatest power. When we are constantly depleting and giving it out all over town to everyone else, we not only don't know who we are, but we are just working for everyone else. It's like prostitute energy. We are the archetype of the prostitute. It's like we're just give, and we're not receiving back. So receiving takes it out of you. Number one, when you start to slow that train down and you start to shift the energy instead of giving, and you're allowing yourself to receive a little bit, it is exhausting because your automatic nervous system, your subconscious, which I just learned from a friend of mine that's a hypnotherapist, that your conscious mind only makes up 5% of your consciousness, and your unconscious, your subconscious, makes up 95%. So most of it is running on an automatic train. So when we shift to go, hey, I want to be more conscious of what's happening, I want to slow down, I want to start receiving, because I'm learning that it's necessary for me to fill my tank up before I give, and that I am giving from overflow instead of from depletion, because otherwise it's not helping anyone. If I give from overflow, it's benefiting me, it's benefiting everyone else. I'm more grounded in what I'm giving, and all of that is much more beneficial. So the first side of this receiving takes it out of you is the exhaustion. It is going to be exhausting to move your energy differently and to allow yourself to receive, whether that's love, a hug, a nap, a bath, whether it's receiving from other people. It's really a shift in your nervous system, and it's going to be exhausting. The other side of receiving takes it out of you is the focus on the word takes. That it literally, when you make that shift and you start recalibrating and saying, I'm going to allow myself to receive. I'm going to allow myself to take a nap when I need to. I'm going to allow myself to slow down. And instead of just being this, monster producer on the wheel of capitalism and, oh, I'm going to do this, that, and the other thing because that's what people want from me, instead of what do I actually organically, authentically want to give, that receiving is going to push out the old system. And I think that's so beautiful. So that's the territory that we're in. It's the cleansing. There's a bit of a purging. And the reason Shine Bright, when I tuned into the energy, I just literally saw a sun at the center. And that's why the image looks like that with rays going out. So there's another part of the energy I almost forgot to mention about. And, meditation always and forever will be the suggestion, right? I mean, like, in order to get out of this automatic programming, you have to slow down enough to listen, to make space between you and your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. And if you aren't observing, if you're not witnessing, then you're not conscious of the thoughts that you're having, and thoughts produce feelings, feelings produce actions. It's a loop. So, interesting enough, we have to slow down in order to do that, right? So meditation, what was I going to say about that? We have to become the witness of our thoughts. And so, this is where I was, the shine bright and the sun. So this is what we need to be doing more of. The society, the system, whatever you want to call it, it greatly wants to pull us off of witnessing. It greatly wants to pull us off of polarity, right, wrong, good, bad, black, white, all of it, right? If you actually talk to people and you're not focused on what the media is sharing with you, you'll notice that it isn't very black and white. Most people are in the gray area, and they're trying to figure it out, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, and they have the same hopes, the same dreams, the same fears, the same worries, the same anxiety. There is more gray than there is black and white, but the powers that be would like us to believe that it's over here, that it's, either or, so that we stay in fighting, so we stay in war energy. And so the call this month, and why the shine bright, and think of the solar plexus as the sun. When you are focused on the sun, you're not focused on the shadow. You're not focused on the dark. And there's this energy. So when you're focused on, the lightness, the brightness of you, the the things that are beautiful about you, the things that you love, when you're focused on gratitude and beauty and music and magic and all of these things, you're less focused on pain and suffering and the difficulty and all of the challenge. And this is what we're being asked to do. We're being asked to get really clear about what we care about, what we want to create more of, because we are master manifestors, we are master creators, and we have greatly underestimated our power. And, you know, the sun, of course, is, you know, that home, that the central sun in our body is our life force energy. It's our prana, it's our chi, it's all of that. And we have to be good purveyors, is the word that wants to come, of our own energy. And if we are constantly focusing on the negative, if we are constantly focusing on what we are afraid of, that's what we're going to create more of. So we need to really back it out right now and get really clear about what is it that we care about, what do we want to create more of, and deeply, deeply focus on that in meditation. Like even when you're in meditation, focusing on your belly, not quite at the solar plexus, more at the sacral. It's called the hara, or the lower dantian. It's just below your belly button. And it's one of the focal points that they teach in meditation to focus on, breath, sound, or your belly. And if you're brand new to meditation and you're like, I don't even know, I can't get my mind to slow down that much, listen to a guided meditation and do open eye meditation where you're focused on a spot. It will keep your mind from going too wild and crazy. Okay, so let me see. Is there anything else? Oh, one of the things that wanted to come up too. So receiving takes it out of you. There's the exhaustion, there's the clearing piece of it. And then I wrote this sentence down that is interesting, and I didn't think that I was like, how does this quite relate? People get mad when you do what you need to take care of yourself. So this is also part of the solar plexus. When you slow down and you start shifting where you're placing your focus and you start taking care of yourself. I mean, really all year I've been doing this, slowing way, way down, being way, way, way less social, being more quiet, listening to myself. I have absolutely had to do it. It's like I needed to turn the radio off completely so that I could hear the sound of my own voice. When people this is just something to be aware of, when people get angry with you for doing what you need to do for taking care of yourself, that is very good information to have, because they are not your friend. And they are probably not in the business of doing that for themselves. They're probably so used to attending to the needs of everyone else. So they're like, well, who do you think you are? You're a little too big for your britches, going to take care of yourself. When I'm over here agreeing to run things the way that the society would have me do, I have agreed to the shadow contract to be, a feeder of the system, to just vomit all of this content into Instagram to make me feel, worthy or safe or valued or whatever. It's like if somebody has agreed to do that and then you go over here and you decide that you're going to do something different, they're probably going to be like, well, who do you think you are? You're a little too big for your britches. But also, if that person that is upset with you for not being around may be a narcissist and was really happy to receive all of the food and the fuel, the energy, the sweet goodness that you were giving them, and you're like, yeah, no. So it's very good information. When you start walking your own path and, really deeply listening to yourself, and then that happens, just look alive, because the people who don't like it's going to tell you a whole lot about who they are and what their motives are. Okay, so I already talked about throat, solar plexus. And like I said, I don't have any of the planetary blends with me here, but if you want to work with those, I would do Sun and Mercury. Those are going to be the two that are going to come up, and maybe they'll come up in Moon Ceremony as well. And then the Young Living oil for the month that came through was lime. Lime is the energy of the zest for life. It is, I'm not positive, but I think lime is probably in the solar plexus and the sun blends that I created, because lime is it's like so all the citrus oils are mood elevating, but lime alone almost feels like you're just smelling the sun. And if you are a healer, if you are a practitioner, this is the oil to use between clients. When you are done, or even if you're not, like if you're an entrepreneur, if you're whatever, you're doing work and you're done with your work and you want to go be with your kids now, this is the oil to use. I'll do it right now. Just put a couple drops in your hand, and this is called a scent tent, and you just rub it together and smell it. And it has this power of disconnecting and disrupting what you were doing before, and it kind of cleans your energy, and it shifts and tells your mind like, okay, we're going to go do something else now. So it's a really great one for that. And the energy of the zest for life, like the excitement, the joy, the happiness, the vitality. It's like, this is what we're wanting to focus on in meditation. So even would be a great one to use for meditation. Okay, we're going to use Kim Kranz's new alchemy deck. I pre-ordered this. I've been excited. I think I've only done 2 readings for myself with these cards yet, so they're very, very new. I don't know them well at all, but what was interesting, I thought, is the very first suit in the deck is all the planets, and I thought, oh, look, I just finished my planetary blend, and here is a deck with suits in it. Okay, here we go. Okay, I gotta get my glasses on for this. I'm not familiar with any of these cards, but I absolutely, are you kidding me? Okay, I'm not gonna be able to say this because she's got all these, I think they're Latin words on the cards. Hieros Gamos. It's the alchemical wedding. You can't make this shit up, folks. Look at this. It's the sun and the moon. It's the yin and the yang, it's the black and the white, everything that I've been talking about, and it's the marriage between the two. And the snakes, of course, are representative of Kundalini energy, so that's what I was talking about anyways. And the idea of like, the Garden of Eden and the snake, and, that whole story is completely backwards. And the idea that, Eve created a problem and, the whole thing, it's so ridiculous. Read about Lilith. If you want to know more about that and why apparently Lilith was Adam's first wife, and she was not subservient enough, and so she was cast out, and then all kinds of rumors were created about her, and said that she was sacrificing her children and all this kind of stuff, and we've all been there before. If you're a woman, you've probably been cast out at some point and made to be wrong when people are sharing a story that is not all the way there. Okay, I have to point this out. I just did the Young Living unboxing, but look at this towel. This is, now that I'm doing these horizontally, this towel right here, this kitchen towel, I just got when I was on vacation, and it says, do something every day that scares your family. So it's right in the energy of this. Okay, so the alchemical wedding, ritual, celebration, uniting. Okay, I just want to point out, because the moment that I hear ritual, it makes me think of the moon ceremonies. And I had been kind of toying with even changing the name instead of moon ceremonies to moon ritual, because I did ceremony when they were live, and I hope that people don't think that when they hear the word ceremony that it means that we're doing a live thing and that you have to be there at a certain time. But it really is a ritual to come to twice a month, to stay connected to yourself, to grab the information, to get a healing, and then to be able to go back out and continue doing what you're doing. So there's an energy of that here. Ritual, celebration, uniting. All hail the alchemical wedding. The laboratory morphs into a dream-like dance floor, and all your allies, fellow alchemists, and ancestors are here to witness the celebration, okay? This has been up really heavy right now too, in my own business and in my own work, of needing to connect with other entrepreneurs, specifically healers, and doing trades with them as a way to organize and create, it's kind of like a colleague network. So if you're an entrepreneur, especially a healer, I highly, highly recommend you doing that. Okay, what was once lost has been found. What was once denied has come fully into the alchemical or the alchemist's embrace. So what I would say is that thing that has been denied is your solar plexus. It is your uniqueness. It is your authentic vibration that we have been taught over and over and over again to deny for the greater good. But by doing that, you are not doing anything for the greater good. You are doing something to power the patriarchy, to power capitalism and the wheel and all of the isms. You're powering the isms when you are not standing in your unique, authentic vibration. That is the thing that helps actually power the world forward in a more positive way. The work is often felt as serious and studious, but the alchemical wedding is a moment of levity and lightness. When this card arrives, it is of utmost importance to mark the occasion. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Honor and acknowledge those who have helped you along the alchemical path. You have come so far. Energy radiates from the uniting of opposites and the redrawing of life's blueprint. That is exactly what we are doing right now. We are redrawing life's blueprint and saying, no, I was powering the system in this way, and I am no longer okay with that. I was not conscious of it. Now that I'm conscious of it, I can't do it anymore, and I have to pull back the unconscious contracts that I have made and say, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I am going to go my own way. You have come so far. Energy radiates from the uniting of opposites and the redrawing of life's blueprint. The new form has arrived. That's what I feel right now. Like the new form has arrived. We know more than we did before, and once you know, you can't unknow. It says the unknown has become known. You'll be back to your existential queries and tinkering ways in no time. Now the work is to revel in the miracles. So what this says to me too, the reveling of in the miracles, is that sense that I started off with, which is talking about the beauty, the magic, all of the mystery that's happening in the unseen, that's always happening. But when you point your attention to it, you start to notice it more. Then you start to feed your sense of gratitude that it's happening at all, and you can start creating more of what you want. To go deeper, watch the Flaming Lips music video, Do You Realize? Okay, and then to ponder. She's taken out the lighter when light, when dark aspect of it, and she's just doing to go deeper and then also to ponder. So this one is to ponder intimacy without sex. That's amazing, which is where all the magic is anyway. The alchemical wedding is a radical act of presence and acceptance. Do something spontaneous today without rules, books, spreadsheets, social media, or schedules. Do something every day that scares your family. It's taking the train off the tracks. Witness the journey of a fellow alchemist. Okay, here, that's literally what I just said about creating a network of colleagues, like other healers, other entrepreneurs, people that are doing what you are doing, and then creating a trade so that you can have this beautiful, what I'm noticing about it is it allows you to see your gifts in a different way, and it allows them to see their gifts in a different way. And then you are always and forever held, supported, and nourished so that you are giving from overflow. You're not just giving, but you're also receiving healing in the like vibration that you give it. So witness the journey of a fellow alchemist. Celebrate and congratulate them. The alchemical wedding is not about you. This is the key to alchemy. So it's about honoring the gifts of others, right? Like this is what we're doing. When you honor the gifts of others, when you honor the mystery, when you honor the unseen, when you honor the feminine, when you honor the mystery, the magic, right? That is when you bring everything into balance. And there's this thing about focusing on the sun, what I was talking about at the top, focusing on the sun. It's like the sun automatically illuminates what's dark. So if you're focusing on that, you're going to automatically start seeing what's in the shadows. It's really, really beautiful. So anyways, I hope that helps. If you have questions, feel free always to reach out, Heidi@doublemagenta.com. If you want to email my website, doublemagenta.com. And individual sessions are available, readings. I had been offering a Wild Sisterhood program that was going to start in September. That feels like it's changing. That's going to become something else. What I feel like is happening is this, like I talked about at the beginning, the soul messages weaving into the moon ceremonies. And I think the people that are subscribing to the moon ceremonies are the community that's getting created. And so there may end up being more offerings for those people as we go forward. But I'm really desiring to be speaking to a community, to be sharing that, because I need that back and forth, that response thing that happens when we come together. So anyways, we'll see how that all moves forward. But I think that's all for now. So happy August. Love you. Be in touch with questions, comments, whatever you have. And shine bright, baby. Only you can do it. Only you can shine your unique vibration. No one else can do what you do. And so it's so wildly important that you step into your unique, authentic embrace. Or, I don't know why I said embrace, but like embrace your unique, authentic vibration. And this last thing wants to come in from a session that I did months ago. Whenever I do a session with somebody, I always tune into their energy and I ask what's happening in their energetic body before I work with them. And every once in a while, something will come, and I got this exact sentence that came before I even talked to the person. Marry everything you love in one place. And I was like, what is this about? And why would they use the word marry? Which is so interesting because we have the alchemical wedding. That's why they're asking me to tell you this. Marry everything you love in one place. What it means is, and you'll definitely see this on Instagram, it's so, once you see it, you're not going to be able to unsee it. It's so obvious and it makes me want to vomit, honestly, when I see it. We're taught to do it, but it's completely the backwards way of what we should be doing. People think like, oh, my account is about this. My business is about this. So I can only talk about that thing. That doesn't make any sense because we are all multifaceted, multidimensional, and there are multiple things that we love, right? And so what they were saying when they said, marry everything that you love in one place, it means to bring every piece of who you are into your offering, into the thing that you're doing. Because, people often say like, like for my example, like what do cats have to do with young living, have to do with energy healing, have to do with spiritual readings, have to do with moon ceremonies, have to do with astrology, all the things that I'm interested in. I'm sitting in front of a stack of books that are all, interior decorating books. Like I love all of that stuff. We ask ourselves and we're taught to say, oh no, we have to have a clear message and we have to have a clear audience and this is what it is and we can only be that one thing. That's ridiculous because we're multifaceted beings. So when you marry everything that you love in one place and we ask ourselves, well, how does this belong or how does that belong? It belongs because it belongs in you. If you're interested in it, it belongs. And so we have to start being more of who we are and bringing more of the multifaceted parts of ourselves. I love plant-based eating and, cooking from home and all that kind of stuff. Okay, does that seem like it has anything to do with, these messages? Well, yes, because it's all about self-care. But it's also, they're the things that I love. So I really encourage you to start thinking about that, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you think like, oh, I can only bring this one thing. No, you can't, because every time you bring another aspect of yourself into the fold, you are giving others permission to embrace all of those seemingly lost parts or, dismembered parts into the center of who you are and to give all of it. So I say nonsense with all that and bring it all in. But that last piece wanted to come in. Marry everything that you love in one place. if it fits in you, if you're interested in it, it fits in the world, and it's part of your unique vibration, and it's why you have to bring it together. So anyways, love you. Namaste. Have a wonderful month. Reach out with any questions. And get on the moon ceremonies. I'm telling you, there's something very magical happening there. And there's a community that's starting to get built as the wave and the current of that builds. All right. Love you. Namaste.